Uno Si Mes, and it's just too much. It's too much. It yeah, I'm surprised, but it could be just an LA thing. It also could be, I think sometimes these third-party reseller tickets got a hold of the tickets for the show here in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Pero it's
What's the lineup? Are they headlining, or are they
I don't
or are they opening for somebody a lot bigger, and maybe that's why it's like
possibly,
maybe.
I kind of gave up after like trying to get
So
tickets and
te mandé the the interview for Lasitud, dude.
right. Yeah, thank you.
Pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on it this week so that when I'm traveling next week, maybe we could do that then.
or
the
you're
following
traveling
week.
next week. So are we off next week or?
No. I'll be here. I'm traveling. I'm traveling on weekends, so I'm not
Okay.
traveling during the week. So I'll be here. But we got about 2 minutes to get on the radio.
Okay, fudge.
We're on Facebook. Hey, Facebook.
Oh.
We're on live on Facebook.
Should have warned me, though.
Sorry. Hey, we're on Facebook and YouTube and soon to be on Live 365, the radio station, la radio. Pero por pronto estamos aquí en el Face, en el YouTube. Y a ver cómo nos va.
We're on.
We're on. Escuchas en vivo aquí. Preparándonos para el show que comienza exactamente a las 8, pero no muy puntual, pero sí comienza. Más o menos. Siempre con fallas técnicas, pero con la música es lo más importante. Muy buena música.
Si no hay fallas, no hay show.
That should be our slogan, right? Si no hay fallas, no hay show.
So, did you do Black Flag because of Des Cadena?
Is it Des, the Puerto Rican?
Don't reveal it yet, dude. You gotta wait.
Come on, like if you know Black Flag, you know.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing is like there's certain bands that could like I not overstep, I just miss.
Yeah.
So I miss in many ways. So I'm gonna get ready for the radio. You guys can get chit chat while I turn on the stuff. You guys gonna be live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, but not on the radio yet. The music will be, but not you guys. All right, we're live on the radio now too.
Because Manolo went like straight flashback, and then you went to like
even more flashback.
Yeah, you went.
Es solo punk, dude.
¿Es solo punk?
I haven't listened to
solo punk.
Oh, solo punk.
That Specimen Rola in such a long time. I remember cuando yo y Manolo agarramos el pinche cassette de Specimen from was it Ritmo Latino or Éxito Latinos from Gordo Fresa, and we played it on the drive home. And I think we played it all the way through, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like the whole like A side, B side, and we were just like, ¿Qué onda?
Oh yeah, dude, we were supporting Denver.
At that rate, then we going on to Denver kick, because after Specimen we got into Rebelde.
Denver Records.
Yeah, we got into Rebelde Punk, Yaps.
Yeah,
is that the show remember when there was a van? I don't know if it was with Specimen in San Jose where they came out of the van and a bunch of smoke came out.
That was a different.
It was
band.
Totally like
that was a different
Richmond
band.
High.
Yeah, that was a different band.
Are you sure? Because it was like a Specimen type of band.
I'm pretty sure it was Neto.
It was
no, what is it meant to?
It was probably Repugnante, dude.
Oh, no, it was Repugnante. You know why? Because I remember they were like from Mexico and they had been turning and they were in a van. And all I remember is them getting to the show, the venue, and we were always kind of hanging out, waiting for them. And fucking band opens up and Richmond High type action where like a bunch of smoke came out and it wasn't weed, put it that way.
Who was Piccoli?
What?
El Neto.
El Neto.
Oh,
was
I mean,
you know what? I think it was one of those type like metal.
Are you gonna even like doubt that, dude? El Neto, man, the Neto, man. I love Neto. I mean, do not get me like. The funny thing is, I was kicking it on Oscar, one of the guys I know here from Watsonville, and we were going down memory lane con un chingo de bandas de los 90s, ¿verdad? And estábamos hablando de Lodo, and específicamente Lodo. So I went down the Lodo rabbit hole esa noche, and I started watching some like videos que hay on YouTube and shows, y de repente, in one of the shows de Lodo, sometimes me gusta pues leer los comentarios abajo de la, the people post or whatever.
Right.
It was dude, Manolo, what's the band from Salas that Felix used to live with? Oh, Psychosomatic.
Right.
Psychosomatic was like was trying to reach out Lodo, like, hey man, you guys remember partying with us? We're trying to reach, trying to connect, blah blah. And I'm just
turning on mics. Aquí tu amigo locutor, programador y muy bien desconocido, Dr. G.
Y su cómplice, el Chivo.
Y el Manolo Diabólico.
¿Qué huele, muchachos?
Killer show.
Esta noche. Pues está bien, re punk. Antes, should we go that far? Maybe.
No.
No. Manolo. Manolo
es solo punk, man.
Manolo deep dives into like. Okay, my set kind of kicks it on the outskirts and getting inside of the Gilman.
Yes.
Manolo goes into the bathroom and then starts hanging out behind the Gilman in the side where we used to like.
Oh yeah, hanging out in the alleys.
Drink our 40s of nasty malt liquor.
Yes.
He went deep dive with a couple bands.
Right. And I actually did more of like hanging out with those journalists that would sometimes come to the show.
Okay. All right.
You know why?
With the
that's how
staff.
I found that's how I found Futura. So Futura, an LA band with that hardcore edge, femme fronted, just thought, you know what? This is a really good band to be featuring on Mi Vecindad, always supporting the local acts, porque pues aquí presente de Los Angeles, East LA. I just thought it was a great fit. And
nice.
In East LA are they from?
They're from LA. They're from LA proper. Not sure what part of LA they're from, but they were featured in an article on Remezcla where they had like 5 punk bands to check out.
Look, I'm noticing the portada del cassette de Futura, and one of the rolas says "I Don't Want to Hear It." Is that a cover from Minor Threat?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm curious. Now I want to listen to it. I mean, we were all big fans of Minor Threat when we were kids, but I'm just like,
they don't exist anymore, possibly because they did. It was 2019 when they last.
Hay varios grupos en este set list de esta noche que ya no existen, desafortunadamente. But whatever, dude. If it's good, it's good.
It's great. It's great music,
and it doesn't matter. Yeah. Bueno, empezamos este set simplemente because, man, we didn't know that Mess was coming up Talare de Bahia until Manolo told me, and it was like he tells us on a Thursday, and they're playing like on a Saturday.
They're like.
And I was like, culero. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, so I didn't get a chance. Manolo did go.
They were awesome.
And I'm not going to go.
So basically what I did is, okay, let me play Mess this week. For some reason, Manolo never talked. I thought Manolo would probably play another Mess song, but he didn't. He went even deeper and darker. But screw it. Okay. Catarsi. Catarsi is a band that I've been kind of in love with for a hot minute. They are from País Vasco. They put out one long EP at the end of 2023, and on their little webpage on Bandcamp says, "Bye, we're done."
Wow!
So they just did the EP,
one EP.
So is it all like this? It's got that new wave oi thing going.
New wave oi, post punk, dark, aggressive. I think both you guys would really, really like this EP.
I fucking dug this song, man.
Okay,
especially the intro.
Listen to the whole. I think it's 7 or 8 songs. Listen to it. Te va a encantar, güey.
So the imagery.
That's kind of what it is.
So those are poppies, right?
Yeah, and then you got a flail. So it's romantic. And then if you see the guys, they got a groovy thing going on. Check it out. I mean, just watch them, go check it out. Pero desfortunadamente Catarsis does not exist anymore. And they have very little information outside of que son del País Vasco. That is it. So check them out. Disfrútenlo.
Mi Vecindad, Diablovisión, MVMN.
Woo! Yeah, it's I think you'll definitely like it because it's not like
the synth intro. Is that a synth, right?
Yeah,
like,
they
new wave.
They categorize themselves as cold wave, dark wave, post punk, oi. So yes, all the above.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't doubt that these guys are doing something else, like as individuals.
I'm sure it's they got something going on. So I tried to compliment. We're big fans of Mess here, and we have been for about 3 years at least. And I do like la nueva ola de street punk. With the fuzzier guitars, it just sounds different. If you listen, so I kind of concentrated on that tip tonight, with a couple of acts.
So you're dirty, but not too dirty.
I think it's just an evolution, in a sense, because if you think about it, last week I went on a tip after hanging out with Oscar for a little bit. We started reminiscing on Lodo.
Wait, you were hanging out with Oscar?
Well, we worked together. So like he worked at my side and we kind of kicked it. And like, I mean, I probably shouldn't say this, but like instead of working, we literally sat down, had a cup of coffee for like an hour and a half and just talked. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but we were working. Okay. Yes. Anyways, just reminiscing a lot of good shows and blah, blah. And then I started going down the rabbit hole and I started thinking of like películas como like Suburbia, etc. And then I started going like, man, I used to love TSOL, and I started going down that rabbit hole. And I remember like, yeah, like especially bandas de punk, if you saw movies like Repo Man, Suburbia, some of the bands from that era weren't all up in your face, like say Black Flag or Minor Threat. They were a bit different. Like TSOL was kind of gothy, Darker My Love, dude, Darker My Love,
Yeah, right.
And
you know who played the night before Este Mes?
Who?
The Exploited.
At the Parkside? I mean,
no, in San Francisco. It was at a different venue.
Yeah, I have mixed reactions with The Exploited. I loved them as a kid, but the more as I got older and I started reading some stuff that Waddy would do, I go, nah, you deserve to get dragged off stage in Mexico City and get the crap beat out of you, So like,
Quema mucho el sol?
I think so. The best is, like, I don't think he's as bad as Johnny Lydon, but he's definitely way to the right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're just going, wait a minute, but like, but you created this, Yeah. And then you were listening to Thatchers from Chaos in the Basque Country compilation. I mean,
wait, but this is the compilation.
This song is off the compilation. I mean,
right.
Come on, you have Thatchers, Oriega 778, Rotten 13, Bless You. I mean, there's a crap load of great bands from both the Spanish punk side, the Spanish Basque side, and the French Basque side.
So like, because the song is Biot's Motel featuring Thatchers.
Well, if you look at the compilation, every band is going to say featuring. So because of translation from Euskera into English, it's basically saying the name of the song featuring, but it's chaos.
Got it. It's kind of like when you go to England and you say, "Are you on holiday?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm on vacation. Here in the States, a holiday is like.
So again, it's going like we were saying, is Thatcher's punk?
Yeah.
And I see where my nose is like.
Punk is it's one of the largest umbrellas, man.
No, it's subjective.
Yeah.
But definitivamente en la opinión mía, fuck yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I know. Especially the way they do things, and it's more of a way of life. But
turning on mics.
Eso fue la canción Vecindad Motel from un grupo que nos canta aquí en mi vecindad, Thatchers de País Vasco. That was featured on El Compi Chaos in Basque Country, con un mogollón de bandas buenísimas como Blessure from France, Rotten 13, which is Manolo's been in love with Rotten 13 for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Dude.
They fucking kick ass.
I know they do. And Oriaga 778. I mean, it's a great comp. Just check it out. Antes de eso, Catarsi, igual de País Vasco, amazing band that has only one EP. That's it. They said goodbye. If you're into like, it's a weird combination. They even describe themselves as dark wave post-punk oi. So, I don't know. I think them and Thatchers juntos would be an amazing, lineup. Yeah. So let's keep it going. Ooh. Now one of the reasons why I put this set together is because Manolo last week was saying, "Hey, dude, Mess is playing up here on the weekend." And I was like, that's what I get for not paying attention. So Mess come up and played. I did, besides Manolo, a couple of old, a lot of the Unity guys were there. Manolo, I don't know if you saw some of the Unity guys, but
I did. I saw some of the crew.
Okay, so they were all there, and they plastered it all over their social media. So yeah, Mess from Guadalajara. I mean, what more can we say that we haven't said here aquí en radio about Mess? Anyways, let's check it out con la canción Dispersión Mess del disco Under Attack.
Mi vecindad, MM, all the MS, Diablovisión. So check this out, dude. I was going to say this, but you segued pretty quickly. So when I was talking to El Cantante de Mes, chopping it up, and so they're down to do an interview. I just need to connect with them. And since they're on tour, I didn't want to hit them up while they're on the road.
No. Yeah.
But he talked a little bit about his European tour. And, I just asked, I just kind of said, hey, like, what's the street punk oi scene like in Mexico? And he said it's healthy. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. So definitely lots of questions there. And I mentioned about the show and the music that we play. And I also mentioned, that we also feature bands and musicians from the Basque Country. And he kind of started chuckling, and he's like, yeah, when we went on our European tour, because not everybody could get their visas, so we had to get some people to fill in. No. And he's like, yeah, we got some Basque punk rockers to help us out while we were on tour. So I'm just hella curious which punk from what bands like helped them out.
I wouldn't doubt if we know somebody,
Yeah.
It would not surprise me, The Basque Throwdown, the Basque Throwdown, they definitely do.
Yeah, so I was just going to point out that you're segueing from the Basque punk bands to Mess. I'm like, well, there's a little bit more to it than you know.
Then let's talk about that when we come back. Okay, but if you listen to Mess, one of the things that had gravitated me originally to Mess was I've been a sucker for the guitar work with a couple of these bands that I'm showcasing tonight. They got this like fuzzed out, almost like primitives on crank fuzz style guitar that I'm a big fan of. So I don't know. I'm a sucker for that, because not a lot of bands do that enough. I've been seeing it more in the last couple of years. But yeah, I mean, if you hear it, like, especially with Mess going into Anemic Interior, they have a similar sound.
Yeah, Nimic.
Well, Anemic Interior, they're from Barcelona, and I mean, talking about the Basque, they on purpose only do in Catalan. They won't even sing in Spanish and if you think of Euskera is in a small scale, Catalan's even smaller. So
Really?
they're oh yeah, Catalan. I mean, it's basically in just the Barcelona and outlying regions. Yeah. So it's not even like a bigger area like say Basque Country. So yeah, but is what it is. I mean, you don't want to mess with them too much.
You do want to mess with them. You want to find out what's going on.
Oh yeah, but I meant like in a bad way. You don't want to cap on them.
Right. A través de Live 365 pueden escuchar la música aquí en el Face. A los que nos están viendo en vivo en el YouTube o en Twitch, you don't necessarily can hear the music a little bit in the background, but
you got to go to Live 365.
Yeah, Live 365 to actually
or
hear
follow
the
our
music.
playlists on like either Spotify, iTunes, or whatever. All that commercial stuff where you got to pay some money to, but like
Apple.
We say look at that. We try to get all the bands played, so we do it all properly. But YouTube still wants to be like, it's like okay, like check out Cosa Cos from Anemic Interior. They have that
Cosa
kind of that sound, kind of like Catarsis, that very unique. Street punk. Manny, do you remember early Dirt?
Turning on mics.
Acaban de escuchar a Cos de la banda Anemic Interior de Barcelona. Anemic Interior tienen 3 años, tienen 3 EPs, son de Barcelona, cantan exclusivamente en catalán. But they are amazing, man.
They fucking kick ass.
Oh no, Anemic Interior. Yeah. I've been like every EP just more like antes de eso Mes con la canción de Dispersión. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to keep it going on that tip. That kind of unique nueva ola de street punk oi. Different flavors, different when I listen to Anemic Interior, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Dirt from Inglaterra from the late 80s, early 90s, but they had a female vocalist, but the music was kind of similar on that tip. What do you think, Manolo?
They're fucking badass, dude. So I listened to this song, then I started listening to some of the other music. Phenomenal punk rock, man. Yeah. Solid, fucking solid.
Solid. Very solid. Yep. So we kind of stayed in País Vasco, Spain, Guadalajara. Now we're going to go down to Argentina with a band. Igual, desfortunadamente, they don't exist. They haven't existed for about 10 years. I think they flew under the radar. They were around from como 2010 hasta como 2014 más o menos. They have a couple albums, a couple EPs. I think they're Argentina's version of the Stitches. Just dirty, legit punk rock.
So I mean, what's funny is esta portada and the next band were actually what inspired my set.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I did something right. Anyways, I've been a big fan of Quemacoches for years. Como te digo, they don't exist anymore. It kind of sucks. But let's check them out. Estás mal. And we are most of the time. I am.
Mi Vecindad, MVNN, Diablovisión.
esta rola, when you hear the guitar work, man. When I first heard the song, porque la escuché en un compi, I just kept my
It's a
mouth,
fun
my
song.
mouth opened up, and I was going, "What is this? Is this 1992 Stitches?" Because that's exactly what it sounds like.
Hey, Diabólico.
¿Qué pasa?
How many IPAs have you had today?
I actually haven't had any, dude.
You need one because you're fucking up, man. You're like M V, and then now you're like M V N.
I'm withdrawing, man. I'm withdrawing.
You need some help, you know. I'm just saying, you know, normally you're on it. You're like, pew, pew, pew. You're flowing. It's like, no problem. Tonight te está fallando.
And they
Échate
do a
un
great.
poquito de lubricante, you know, un poquito de.
When you get a
something
chance, Manolo, like listen to some of the Kemakocha stuff off Bandcamp.
Cool.
They're just like this all the way through. Just like no nonsense. They look a little bit like the Parasites.
Really? Wow.
But they sound like the Stitches, you know? And they got this one song that I played a couple times on the radio. It tastes just like a milkshake, you know? And it's a cover, but it's amazing. Maybe I'll play it in a few weeks. It's fun, dude. They're just
taste it. Tastes just like a milkshake.
They're a fun band, dude. And I think maybe they came out in that dull period where like nobody was really paying attention because
how old is this song? How old is this
dude? Como like 12, 13 years old.
Oh yeah, it's probably during that lull.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they
That's
were around.
What I thought. Like, they're more like that SoCal.
Yeah, and they had nobody supporting them, nobody doing anything, and you know, now this band.
Yeah. Denso.
This band, Manolo.
Mm-hmm.
I
love the song title, man.
But yeah, okay, check this out. They started in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
and I'm not. Hold on.
They're literally like 4 years old.
No, well, they empezaron.
Okay.
And
yeah, I mean the band. Yeah.
In less than 4 years, they have 16.
What?
16 singles.
Okay.
And one EP.
Okay. Wow, that's like 2 albums.
Something every like other month.
These vatos are like literally. I mean, yeah, the singles are one track. A couple of them are two, but for the most part, they're one track. So like,
yeah, the recording literally also...
it's like every 3 months, 2 months.
Wait, where are they from?
From España, and they don't even tell you anything else. They're from like somos de puta España, and that's it. Like they're just like
so they don't like hippies.
Yeah. But they're. I'm curious. So like, I think either me or Manolo or even you, G, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole and probably start like de vez en cuando playing some Tenso because I think they're a band to watch.
I like them. They're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're legitimate punk rock. Like they're no nonsense. They're ugly punk rock.
They are dirty.
But I love it, man. Sometimes you just want like they're almost kind of like that one band, Manolo,
mature,
like Grimple or Blank 77, like ugly like that. Like legit. Or Chicken.
Who do they sound like, G?
I think they sound like they have some age to them, like
they might.
seasoned.
I mean,
turning on mics.
Yo no toco para hippies.
I love that song.
El grupo se llama Tenso. Even on the Bandcamp, somos de puta España.
Where else?
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. Nothing else.
No more info. Yeah.
No te miento. Empezaron. El primer single came out in early 2021. Mm-hmm. So obviously they formed during the pandemic. Since then, they have released 16 singles and one EP.
Right.
So they are like legitimately, cada 2-3 meses dropping another single, kind of like, yeah, whatever, but punk rock. Antes de eso, Quemacoches, Estás Mal. The only bad thing about that is that they don't exist no
They
more.
don't exist
And
anymore.
they haven't
yeah.
existed since like 2015, 2014, por ahí. So like over 10 years. Sucks
Dude,
because I really like them.
I love the band, and I love that portada, man. It's
Yeah.
got like a fucking a drunk ass suicidal skater or something.
Yeah, Southern California style, like yeah.
Well, it's fitting because if you think about it, they suenan como like they remind me of the Stitches, and Stitches
Mhm.
is one of my beloved SoCal bands. So
Mhm.
and I don't have many from SoCal that I actually like, beloved. Anyways,
Well, there's a little more SoCal coming.
So I went that rabbit hole, and Manolo decided to go into the bathroom at the Gilman,
Eso.
and then go out to the back into the alley, which is
Into
The
the
back
alleys.
door. The
Yeah,
back
so
door.
we're going to the alleys, and then we're gonna go to the gutter in a little bit. Ahora vamos a escuchar a Doble Fuerza, classic punk band de Argentina, but they're now in Bilbao. I guess everyone's going to Bilbao now.
Whoa, they relocated to Bilbao?
They relocated to Bilbao. ¿Por qué no me llamas? De su álbum Buenas noches, Punk Rockers. Este álbum salió en el 2008, but these guys have been around since fucking
91, 87? Okay,
87,
yeah. I was going
yeah,
to say like 91. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
They played them in
So
the original incarnation of Vecindad back like as early as 95. So
yeah, this is some really good street punk de Argentina originalmente y ahora del País Vasco.
nice. I did not know that they moved to País Vasco. I know they've been semi-inactive over the last 10-15 years, and I was just thinking because maybe they just making it gets tough. You've been around for 30 some odd years, you get kind of
what's happening is like South America.
it's getting harder. I mean, Argentina's been kind of hit economically hard the last couple of years, so
Venezuela just
so maybe you just can't make ends meet, so you might as well just
go where you're supported.
Yeah.
Bueno.
Doble Fuerza, ¿por qué no me llamas? Dang, mi vecindad MBMN.
Cut him off.
También, something's not right tonight. Something is not right. Diabólico needs a cerveza. Chivo needs some coffee. Something's
Doble
going
Fuerza,
on.
Doble Fuerza.
Doble Fuerza.
I was a big fan of Doble Fuerza for years. Years. In fact, I think they peaked, in my opinion. Sacaron un disco. No sé si era 2000 o 2001. It was in the early 2000s. They do you remember, Manolo, that one album that they cranked out that was like super like it was street punk with a little bit of Social D maybe thrown in, but it was really, really well done. And I think that's when they hit that.
Did they ever travel this way?
No,
right?
That I know of. I mean, fueron a México, pero a los Estados Unidos nunca llegaron. I mean, they're one of those bands that nunca llegaron a un nivel. Okay, mira, de Argentina siempre ha sido 2 minutos y ataque, obvio. Right?
Yeah,
those are the two biggest, punk rock bands from over there. And then you have the subgenres of like Flema, Fun People, et cetera, right? But and I don't even think they hit that level. I think they're more on the level of like como Expulsados, like third rate. And it's not to diss them. I'm just saying,
you could say that about a lot of the bands tonight too, though.
The level of popularity that they is.
But you know what? I think they were on a bill where they opened up for La Polla when La Polla was on tour in Argentina.
Yeah,
but in South America.
Now, what I'm saying is that like they were big in Argentina, but like outside Argentina, they couldn't get much bigger than like what I'm saying, like Expulsados levels or whatever, which we're big fans of, but like.
Yeah,
we're music nerds. That's what we do. We search for that. The most common listeners will stop at a lo mucho 2 minutos ataque, and that's the breadth of they're Argentinian punk rock. They're missing out on Cadena. They're missing out on
Flema, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking great band, man.
Yeah.
So just kept it going. Doble Fuerza, Flema, fucking.
Que en paz descanse Ricky Espinosa.
Yeah.
I remember. Was it Cadena or was it Fun People over here on the West Coast when Ricky died? One of the Argentinian bands was over here with us when we got the news that Ricky died.
I think it might have been.
Was it Cadena?
I mean, he died in 2002.
No, then it couldn't have been Cadena.
No, that they were around earlier.
They were around in 98, 99.
Must have been Fun People, or not even Fun People. Boom Boom.
Boom Boom would have been Boom Boom.
Yeah. Flema.
I knew it was somebody, and it affected them.
I bet, man. He was a fucking icon, man, in the punk rock scene.
Yeah. Icónicos, los icons. Hablando de icons, saludos a los que están escuchando a través de
Manolo, who sings for Flema nowadays? Because they replaced him.
Oh man, fuck! I don't know off the top of my head.
Same thing with hold on. Turn on mics.
Ya, güey.
Ya.
Órale. Ya,
Estás más feliz que la mierda, güey.
Estoy más feliz que la mierda de Flema, que salió en su álbum Nunca Nos Fuimos del 93. Legendary band de Argentina. Ricky Espinosa, que en paz descanse. Fucking legend.
Yeah, entre Flema, Flemita, Ricky's solo stuff. I mean, you understand, Argentina en los 90s, they're firing on all cylinders of punk rock. I mean, let's just put a spotlight for the 90s Argentina. Flema, 2 minutos. Ataque. Cadena. Fun People, and every band off Frostbite Records from like man, I'm drawing a blank, but so many good bands from Frostbite Records.
Cuxify.
El Otro Yo.
Man.
There are so many bands coming from Argentina. Todos Tus Muertos, even if you look at the early stuff. I mean,
right.
Amazing punk rock. I mean, and that's not even getting into like lo alternativo and ska and other genres. I'm just
right.
There was a mix though there, right there, because like there was a need to promote a través de a certain label, even though they weren't necessarily alternativos, because you think about like Todos Tus Muertos or even Fun People, and like when traveling, especially to get access and to, but yeah, it was an amazing few years or a decade, I would say, right?
Para punk rock, I mean, they might have taken the decade for in música en castellano as far as like a genre. They might have done it. We could argue about that. Maybe we'll call up our good friend Gustavo Santaloa.
There's no more good bands out there right now. No more good bands.
God.
No, because his list is going to be smart. He's going to be like, well, I didn't make money off these guys. I didn't make money off these guys.
That's what it's really about, man. No royalties.
Money. Where are you going with more money? Do you have like Specimen? You're going with Specimen next.
Okay, well, see,
why? Because
now we're going into Denver Records.
So now we're in the gutter. We're kicking it. We're kicking it in Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. Leyendas, the Specimen from the. I mean, this is the epitome of like a crossover band. To me, these guys are like the Mexican DRI.
Yeah.
How many people realize that they're from Tijuana?
We do, but
no, because but a lot of when you hear Specimen, you think Mexico,
Right, right.
Yeah.
Mexico. You don't think like Tijuana, Baja California. You think Mexico, right? Dirty, dirty ass.
Yeah, but okay, but
Great punk,
then we
right?
grew up with Luis from Tijuana No, and we knew about the history of the Mundista antes de eso.
Yeah.
So we have a connection with the
The
Southern
OGs,
California,
some of the
some of the
OGs,
OG
Texas,
like
yeah.
bands. So like
Yeah.
for me, like we know the connection from like, nowadays everybody's singing Castellano and it's all good. But when we were kids, we all knew each other and we all knew
Yeah.
like, oh, there's another homie over there in Bakersfield,
Yeah.
and that's the next town over, right? So it's like, anyways, Specimen. Esta rola, Manolo, brought me, I could remember el día que el Gordo Fresa en Salinas
Mhm.
nos vendió el cassette, güey, el cassette.
Uh-huh. Ritmo Latino.
No, not Ritmo,
Oh, no, it was the one in
Éxitos
Salas.
Latinos.
Yeah,
Éxitos
Éxitos
Latinos.
Latinos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Allá por la Lizal, in the
Yeah.
ghetto, yeah, I remember. I mean,
Wasn't he holding it for you guys?
He held a bunch of shit
always
for
hold
us,
us. He
dude.
used to always hold us for like
We were good customers.
And Manolo and I teníamos we would have, no sé si eran los lunes o los martes, antes del radio, güey.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Every other week, we'd get off work or school, and we'd get un seis for the drive,
For the
right?
Yeah.
And then we'd stop at a couple of stores, and then we'd pick up another seis for the drive back,
Because it's a long drive.
And we would listen to and I remember, y comprábamos,
There must have been cassettes because
sí, güey.
yeah,
Porque aquel entonces era raro que los CDs eran más y you didn't always get the CDs. So cassettes eran como a 8, 9, 10 varos y los CDs eran 15 o un poco más. Y eso sí estaba en CD, güey, because not everybody produced CDs in the early 90s. Me acuerdo muy bien opening this cassette, and then we were playing it, and when this song came on.
Oh,
dude. You remember that, Manolo?
Yeah. No, I remember not only that, but I remember many nights we're hanging out con the San Jose Rockero crew after the show, man, and one of us and fucking being drunk all of a sudden starts singing Chalks, and then everybody Chalks.
El neto, el drogadicto. Anyways, if you haven't listened to Specimen and Cho is drogadicto.
Oh, this is a classic.
Yeah. Anyways, let me get this right. Mi vecindad, MBMN, Diablovisión.
Yes. You're hired. Yeah. No hay pedo, G, but this was supposed to close out the first block.
But we wouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
no, it
worked out. It worked
okay.
out.
You know what? I keep thinking of San Jose because San Jose was anything that was darker than just like street punk was in San Jose.
Yeah.
Right. They because there was a lot of the DF folk in San Jose compared to Santa Cruz, compared to
or Salinas,
compared to or Watson, right?
I know for a fact that sometimes when Borja would take us with his homies, like I remember rolling in with a specimen shirt, and all of a sudden just the room relaxes a little bit
because of the metaleros, right? Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. That so I think that the one opening of the van and like all the smoke comes out. I think it was a metal transmetal. I think it was probably transmetal or something.
Probably.
Yeah, because, but I just realized that I think all the darker, heavier, bands were more of the DF folk that were in San Jose.
Yeah,
because there was a lot way more. Because when did El Tri really come to? Until I would say recently, in the past 15 years, came to the Santa Cruz area. Before that, they would only hit up
San Jose. They only play. They still only play San Jose.
Yeah,
San Jose y Los Angeles. That's it. That's all they need
yeah.
to play.
Es que ahí
That's
están los feos, güey.
the F folk, and
Yeah.
they're I love them because you can count on them. You wanted a DF show type bands, San Jose, man, those guys were legit. They were honest fans.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that one of the best fans for music are the
Why
folks
don't
from
we
the
play this
DF,
as a
man.
one shot and then come back? Okay.
Okay. Sure.
What?
RG. One shot, güey. One shot. Simplemente porque quería hablar más sobre lo que estaba diciendo Manolo.
I got too
Specimen.
excited. First of
Okay,
all, I
mira,
got too excited.
Specimen and como dijo Manolo, probably one of the best examples crossover band
Crossover,
from
dude.
Mexico. But then listening to it,
Mhm.
Manolo, I started thinking, I go, no, I want to think Denver Records in
Mhm.
general
Yeah.
is a great example of una disquera de crossover.
Yeah.
Porque
'Cause
they had
I mean,
a
they
lot of
had
metal,
punk,
a lot of
hardcore,
rock urbano, a lot of punk.
crust, thrash.
But if you listen to the Specimen, you listen to Sedición,
Mhm.
Yaps.
Mhm.
Are we on the air?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're on. I'm
Okay,
talking
cool.
as if we're on the air. We better be on the
We
air.
are on the
I
air.
mean, in my
Cool.
opinion, those are all
Yeah.
crossover bands.
Yeah.
Yaps, Sedición, Specimen, and I'm sure there's a few other ones that I can't brain fart. I mean, that was over 30 years ago, and I was drunk as we were all messed up.
Yeah, because
There's
you had the punkers that were into fucking Toxico, and then you had the metaleros.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was down with a specimen, man. They all knew a specimen.
crossover because it's a perfect example, como decías, DRI, or SOD or other bands like that. They were like they were crossover because they brought the hardcore kids, but they brought the metalheads. Perfect example, and I think
but
especially
Denver also played a really important role in igual regresamos al DF. If you think about it,
yeah.
in supporting the local acts, and they still do it till today. Denver is supporting their local acts.
That's awesome.
And you think about some of the first blues bands, because of Denver, and before El Tri became Super El Tri,
Three Souls in My Mind, bro.
they were blues bands.
Hey, was Borjas Blues on Denver?
Borjas, yeah.
He should have been on Denver. Should have been.
Yeah, Papos, all those other bands that just went through Mexico to get, that notoriety is just because.
Well, I remember in the 90s there was two labels que eran de punk y metal in castellano that I was a big fan of, and one was Denver Records in Mexico, and the other one was Discos Suicidas.
Oh yeah,
de País Vasco, España.
Yeah, España.
And I remember when I used to play in bands, that was my dream. And if I could get on one of these two labels, my dreams were small. Get on one of these two labels, or get on an Epitaph, Fat Wreck. I never wanted to be on a major. I just wanted to be on a respectable label that can still let us be artists and still let us do all the beautiful things. And Denver Records in Mexico, I mean, like you said, G, is still hasta este día, still gives to, how many labels ya no existen in Mexico? Like, remember Culebra Records, which was another label that, I used to like, ooh.
Oh, yeah, Culebra in Denver, yeah.
Okay, Culebra was great. And then, what was your buddy's name in
BMG
from New York?
Grita.
These are labels that I used to always think of, like, man, I would love to be on, but then some of them got gobbled up and then got destroyed because
Culebra was one of them. I don't know if it was the other way around. Like, they created Culebra because they wanted to do something.
No, Culebra was on their own, and then they got
gobbled up by BMG,
and then and then it went to, because back then, contaba más joven, if you were on a particular label, there was a good chance that I was going to spend money on your product, aunque no sabía qué clase de música tocabas, porque en género esa disquera put out good stuff.
The other thing that I remember that was really critical in some of these labels, because like Denver, I wouldn't necessarily think they were minor. They were minor in the sense that they didn't commercialize. Pero si te pones a pensar, ¿cuántos pinches mexicanos existimos en el DF just alone?
Pues aquel entonces estábamos más
Millones,
de 20
millones,
millones.
millones. So
Somos
you think about how
millones.
many they can sell.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, and
But then you go to the Chopo and you get like, it doesn't matter, bro.
it doesn't matter, but even then there was still like it was still something.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
They have they have a shop in
Yeah.
El Chopo, you know.
Yeah.
Pero you know what was important? It was some of the for us acá en el extranjero, por decir, cuando nos mandaban los compis.
Yeah.
Nos mandaban los compis, and then we were like, oh, they have this too. They have that too. Remember, they had some techno even at one
Yeah.
point. You know, they had some, you know,
But
alternativo.
that goes
They
back
had-
to what I'm saying is that like
Mhm.
via varios disqueras in los noventas that like you could basically say good damn chance that you're gonna like what this band is. Porque in principio los noventas there was no internet. We couldn't like, you know, like especially us viviendo en ranchos chiquitos acá en California, güey.
You weren't the
Talking about,
first
like,
to get internet.
you know, when we were living in Watsonville, Gonzales, Soledad, King City, in those little towns, there's nobody there, man. You know, so when you drive una hora a Éxitos Latinos para comprar un pinche disco, and you see it on Denver, you're going like, screw it, I'm gonna take a chance on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you would buy
You
it.
know,
But you know what's up? Coming back to La Canción Choc says Drogadicto, it is a damn fine written song because it is catchy. It is catchy. Like when you think of a specimen, that's not the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But when I was putting this set list together, and La Canción que sigue is definitely catchy, but this is not too far off. Not too far off.
no.
And
And
I was
considering
like,
what was it?
I was like, damn, I might get my punk rock stripes removed for saying that.
You know,
Eres metalero.
I don't give a rat's anymore. Dude. Like, I mean, we've been in the scene for 35 years. That you can come take it. I don't care.
35.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been going to shows since the late 80s. So you guys can all
18.
kiss my, you know, for as much as
You're
I love
not-
some of these
you're not-
youngster bands, you know, like
Yeah.
they could be my kids. So like
Yeah,
whatever,
35.
you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
All right.
Bueno,
so
seguimos.
let's bring it back to the show. Ok, ahora nos vamos al País Vasco. Vamos a escuchar a Nuevo Catequismo Católico con la rola Generación Perdida de su álbum Generación Perdida del 98. Killer fun band, man.
Nuevo Catequismo Católico is one of the legendary bands de País Vasco, España, NCC. I mean, in my opinion, they're up there with La Polla.
Mhm.
I mean, you either know, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're amazing. Anyways, if you don't, again, and okay, Tomorrow Records. How many bands have we showcased from Tomorrow Records?
A lot of wonderful bands,
lot
amazing bands.
Of bands. Depression Claim, No Picky. I mean, Pleasure Fuckers. I mean, you name it. They've all been a part of like.
They're like the New York Grita was trying to be them, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know. Anyways, Nuevo Catequismo Católico, Generación Perdida, Mi Vecindad, Diablo Visión, MB, MN. Perfect. Yay, I did good.
You did it.
You're on the street.
Nah, it's just great.
Wait, you were hanging out with Nuevo Catecismo, right? I mean, you didn't play with them, but you were able to hang out with them?
I desafortunadamente I never played with them.
Yeah.
But Neko just went to like, oh fudge, man, 3 of our shows.
Yeah.
Like followed us around, dude. Like him and the guitarist. Well, to be honest, the guitarist is really, really good friends with Monte. We became really good friends with the Neko, the singer.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just I was blessed, man. I got to hang out with a lot of, like, we didn't get to play with Brigada Criminal, but they hung out with us.
Right.
You know, I didn't get to play with Sugos, but they just play the longest show of our lives, like. So I mean,
otra.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember yelling at Flo, like Stax. I think Stax turned around and he was like drunker than. He's all, you're gonna play it right now. He's all, but I don't know it. You're gonna play it, and it's just like.
It sounds like Stax, man.
Yeah. I mean, we were in Gruta 77, a legendary club. It's like the CBGBs of Madrid. There was us, Come on Tutankhamun, Sugos, and maybe 20 people that actually played because it was a Wednesday night. They don't even open on Wednesday nights. And I didn't know that Monse pulled her punk rock card to even get the bartender and the sound guy to show up to open the door so we can play.
Really?
So when you have like Sugos, they're like the whole band, dude, and some of their friends like yelling for songs off our first album that we hadn't played in like ever. Stax was pissed off at Flo, saying like, "A huevo vas a tener que tocar esta canción." I don't know it. You're gonna play it. Anyways, yeah, fun times. Nuevo Catequismo Católico. Amazing human beings too, dude. Really good people. Really good people.
Did you say they all have like white collar jobs?
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Professionals.
I was so bummed because I was begging you guys to go on tour with me that was the second tour.
Yeah.
I was begging you guys to come, and it was one of those like, yeah, you would have been like, it was.
We would have been very different right now.
No, I think you would just be smiling. You'd be like, wow, yeah, like we got to meet so and so.
Have a good time.
I didn't meet everybody. I mean, I met a couple of the guys from Scape because one of the guys, the bassist, was playing with Don Cicuta for a long time. So like, and we were living in his house. So I mean, can't go wrong with that, dude.
Comando 9mm.
Yeah.
Comando 9mm, again, legendary band. Them and Ripped from España are. I didn't know much about them, but when I went on tour over there, all the guys from Descontrol were like, "No, what do you mean you don't know about Comando? What do you mean you don't know about Ripped? What do you mean?" Mm-hmm. It's like telling us, "What do you mean you don't know about like certain bands?" You're going like, "No, you got to pay attention to these guys," So
yeah. Well, I love the portada because it's very understanding of current affairs.
No fucking kidding, right?
Yep.
And so it I love that it, Dios, salve a los taraos.
Taraos.
Taraos. There's a lot of taraos going around in Taraos, USA. But anyhow, a través de MVMN estamos escuchando la música de Comando 9mm.
También que es una leyenda de los 80s. They've been around forever, dude. Like, I will comment on like it was a wonderful Tesla commercial from the White House the other day. I mean, you couldn't ask for
visiting
a better pitch than that. Did you guys see that? Manolo, did you see that?
No.
Well, they're gonna visit our studios pretty soon.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm inviting Elon and Gustavo Santaloa, two really good friends of mine.
Santaloa's coming to our show
for an in-depth interview.
And he's gonna talk about punk.
Yeah.
In Argentina. And I think he grew up with the Flema guys.
Yeah.
Or something like
Dude,
that.
I'm just looking at that portada and I'm seeing prime rib $3.99. I'm like, damn,
back in the day in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Uh-huh. So, anyhow, seguimos como siempre aquí en Mi Vecindad a través de Twitch, como Mi Vecindad, a través de Instacrack, como Radio Mi Vecindad.
Instacrack.
A través de YouTube como Mi Vecindad. Y
does Comando still put out stuff, huh?
You still put out?
Acabamos de escuchar a Miénteme de Comando 9mm de su álbum Dios salve a los taraos, que salió en el 2001. killer banda de España que se formó en el 84, three piece.
Nice.
And we did a show acerca de the history of Manolo Uvi, Comando,
That's right.
las
Yeah.
bandas, La Uvi, y también Larsen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are fucking amazing.
Eso es
Amazing.
lo que estamos
So,
hablando fuera del aire. Like, I mean, in España, you get a lot of like, la polla es corrupto. Okay, much like in United States, you get a lot of like, say, Black Flag. But then you're missing out on Minor Threat, Dead Kennedys.
Adolescents.
TSOL, Adolescents. Yeah, one of my favorites, Descendants. Like, I mean, we can go on and on, but like, yeah, Comando 9mm. Yeah, amazing. Ripped. También check them out if you get a chance. Rip, not ripped as in rip, like RIP. Rip.
yeah.
Check 'em
So,
out.
so el show de esta noche, as you can tell, is punk rock. Hector started with some newer stuff, and I was like, it's solo punk rock, man. Throw in a little bit of classics in there, round it out.
Yeah. Get it dirty. Kind of like our. I used to always like taking a dump at the Gilman. It was always fun times. It was dangerous. Get a tetanus shot as soon as you leave.
I was gonna say, man, hover, dude.
Hover. Well, they didn't even have doors, dude. They didn't even have doors. I promised my
At the
daughters.
Gilman?
I promised
Yeah,
my
yeah.
daughters. I go, we got to go there one day. You got to get a car.
Well, it's kind of, you get in and you go this way, and then you
you
get
gotta
into
look at the bathrooms.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
look at them. Don't nothing. Like,
if you have to go, it's probably better outside.
Go behind a bush.
Absolutely better
Yeah,
outside. But it's all gentrified now, so who knows? You probably get arrested.
You could still just go outside.
Yeah.
Outside is very gentrified.
Yeah.
Bueno.
Hey, saludos a Jacob.
Jacobo. Hey, Digital Nest is celebrating 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years of existing, and I have the pleasure of being part of it from the beginning. And Jacobo has always been supportive of Mi Vecindad.
I don't know if you noticed the Watsonville Film Festival was last weekend.
Yeah,
sold out.
I know. Yeah,
straight sold out. Like,
I was part of that too at one point, and so
I couldn't even get it
because of Jacob
inside.
actually.
Yeah, I couldn't even get a ticket. I was like,
really?
No, it was sold out. Like, sold out. There's going to be other opportunities. To watch the event, but it was it was totally sold out.
Amazing,
really good. It's
catching. It's if you think about Mi Vecindad, it also has a lot to do with Watsonville.
Oh,
a lot.
Yeah. Lo que es Mi Vecindad is it's tied to UC Santa Cruz, Santa Cruz, Watsonville, Salinas, y todos los barrios next to us. Even as far as going down, we had fans that used to listen to us as far as all the way down to like González Soledad hasta King City.
Chole, dude.
Chole, man.
And we had listeners, me acuerdo de Rulas from Lo de Asfalto, would drive to certain areas of
closer to Los Gatos to listen.
To listen to the radio that we used to do live cada miércoles de 8:30 a 10:30, because we didn't give up and we played it raw back over 30 years ago. And we're still doing it today. Like, take it or leave it.
With the most current style, or not current styles, current bands of those styles that we played back then.
Except for tonight. Manolo really went like, you won't put me in Moyes. I'm going back to night 3 and I'm staying there.
Hey, because we're here to entertain and educate.
Yeah, totally. Yo es un drogadicto.
Yeah. And going back to 1980, vamos a regresar con este grupo. And the past few weeks, we've been featuring bands, grupos que contienen miembros latinos. Now, that to say que a través de la historia de la música en general en los Estados Unidos tiene que ver mucho el mexicoamericano, el latino, ya sea en the East Coast or West Coast.
We're everywhere, bro.
Texas,
we're prolific.
Cucarachas, man. No nos morimos y andamos everywhere, man.
No.
So anyhow, in looking at Futura, who is a more current band de Los Angeles, me topé con esta. Again, trying to do a little research and finding out that there's this person by the name of Ron Reyes who sang.
Des Cadena, dude.
No, there's Descadena and there's Ron Reyes.
Yeah, but Des Cadena's. And yeah, we'll argue later on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, in this particular song, and Descadena is also absolutely part of Black Flag, and but
Well,
in this particular song,
La Bronca is like, how many singers did Black Flag had? Like 5?
probably 10 by now.
Well,
Because there's still
at least, well, by now. But I'm talking about the original incarnation of Black Flag from 79 to probably 85.
Keith Morris, and then it went to Ron,
Rollins.
and then it went into and then so it just they keep changing. And by now, who knows? But anyway, the important part for this particular song, Hoy Esta Noche, es que él es de Puerto Rico, Ron
Boricua.
Reyes is Boricua, and was part of Black Flag. As a matter of fact, he came back to not only record an album in 2013 and tour with them, but he got fired midway. And I don't know but he left the band because he just thought the shows were too. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he's an absolutely great singer. We're going to listen to that song, Hoy Esta Noche, en especial representando a Black Flag con el cantante Ron Reyes de Puerto Rico. Y con eso terminamos esta noche aquí a través de Mi Vecindad y nos despedimos.
Well, you know what? Let me tag on to that.
A ver.
I'm amenazando a ustedes, güeyes, that I got some secret stuff from Black Flag.
No. Okay.
Well, not from Black Flag.
Yeah. About
Black Flag.
Okay.
So how about next week? Come back.
Okay.
Next week, and we're going to showcase 2 or 3 bands. There is a secret, ultra secret compi tribute to Black Flag that came out locally aquí in Salinas. And there are some bands that we've talked about tonight that are actually on that comp.
Oh.
That I don't think the world has ever listened to, that I have access to.
Really? Is it available?
Yes, for free, but you have to know where to look.
Oh, what? Ese reto for next week.
For next week?
Okay.
Let's come back. So let's listen to Ron Reyes, Black Flag. The only original member that I still think is in Black Flag is Bill Stevenson, right? The drummer?
That's still there. Yeah.
Well, he wrote everything, so like he owns everything for Black Flag. So anyways, Black Flag. I mean, I grew up on Black Flag.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that for a fact, but Manolo. Yeah.
Jealous again?
Jealous again.
That's Black Rose, dude.
No, jealous again.
Black Flag.
Este way, dude. Anyways,
hey, I'm telling you need an IPA. Vamos a terminar. Terminamos.
Next week. Muchachos. Agur. Cuídense.
Hasta la próxima.
Mi Vecindad. Manolo, I need you to have a cerveza.
Dude, I had Black Rose in my head for a second, dude.
I know. What you're thinking whiskey. It's not whiskey. These guys don't drink whiskey. It's like cheap beer.
These guys are the high life.
So there is a song from Fun People.
Nice.
Yeah.
There is a song from
not with Fun People, but a song of Fun People.
No, it's Fun People. Fun People recorded for this.
Right.
Okay.
Was it with the Gummy Bears?
No, dude. Original Fun People.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Dude, this was
supposed to come out. Time they came to California?
This was supposed to come out in 1999.
I was gonna say that was like 98. That was back in when I was in San Francisco.
What's his face from John Benet's Stranglehold? 8-Ball.
Oh yeah.
So 8-Ball used to go to all the shows that we all did.
Yeah.
Remember, he went to we got John Benet's Stranglehold to play one of the Caradura shows, one of the first ones we ever did at Watsonville. The Stub, and we got Cadena, and we got a bunch of like so basically, 8-Ball was a lot like us. And he would just go up to the guys and go, I'm doing a Black Flag compilation. Do you guys want to be a part of it?
Yeah,
There is
I
2 or
remember you
3
telling me
bandas
about
from
this.
Sudamerica on it.
But he never
Wow.
released it.
He could never get the funds to it. So he finally did. It's hidden on YouTube. So I'm going to send you the YouTube tracks. So you're going to have to play it through via YouTube.
Should we say goodbye to YouTube?
Oh, man. I thought we were done. Okay. Anyways, the cat's out of the bag. That's what we're doing next week. Just for a couple of songs.
We're done on live and we're done here tonight. Buenas noches, YouTube. Buenas noches, Twitch.
Se cuidan.
Y Facebook. Se la lavan.
All right. Now come back.